Hello friends, how are you? Today we're going to discuss about Gen Zs, freshers, young professionals who are entering the workspace. And the very first thing that any person would do is curating a CV, creating a resume, making a profile, using whatever tech or whatever aspects you are doing it, whether with Microsoft Word or using an AI tool to do that. One needs to understand that how the recruiting process functions overall. Okay, how recruiters function, how they behave, what's their day like, how they screen resumes, these things and all. Because ultimately what they teach in books in colleges and the post-graduation and MBAs, things usually don't happen in that way. Humans are very creative creatures. They find a way out to do things quickly, whether they had the tech or not. Okay, during my early years, when we do not had the tech or applicant tracking systems or AI enabled interviews and so forth and so on, still we used to find ways to screen resumes. Initially we will do away with things like control F to find out if someone has done a SQL DB or not. That's not an effective way of it, but that's how things are. You don't know your CV is landing in the lap of which recruiter, how experienced they are, how tenacious they are, versatile they are, and foremost and the most important aspect, how cool they are with their current jobs and how clear they have the understanding of what is required. Because what happens most of the times, and I might be wrong, my experience is limited to my own experience that I've worked and I've discussed and I've seen. So there can be other sides to it, but what I'm trying to present here is that recruiters tend to operate in a very different environment, very aggressive environments. Mostly aggressive environments are equated to sales profile, but friends, recruitment is very aggressive role, and where you are dealing with a lot of numbers, lot of hirings, and different set of managers are involved. So eventually what happens is time factor becomes utmost crucial aspect for a recruiter. And when they have so many resumes that are being bombarded into their inbox or their applicant tracking systems and they have to review it, eventually they have less time. That gets squeezes into it. A certain data suggests that an average time taken by a recruiter to screen a resume is 7 seconds. So if you say 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, that's sometimes it won't look much. So how would you get a recruiter's attention? As a young person, as a young professional who is like within 18 to 25 years of age, who are doing their BBAs, MBAs, BTechs, post-graduations and whatnot, how would you, gather the steam around your CV? How would you make it look amazing, get the recruiter's attention? It's simple. It's simple to the point that you need to function your resume in a way that is attractive, and more than attractive, it is meeting the guidelines. Okay, and there is a golden rule which I was taught by my mentors when I initially started recruitment, is the half A4 size rule. Now you take a piece of A4 size sheet, you fold it into half. So the amount of that half is left, the top side, you can figure that out, is the area that is more or less visible to a recruiter when they open your CV or any CV on their laptop or desktops. So just that teeny tiny little bit area that they have, they make the first impression, they form a first impression, and hence it is very crucial that you have a very limited real estate space in your resume, in your CV. Make the best use of it. I've seen that people go really creative, have their big names and addresses and email IDs and phone numbers and objectives in a way that are very much not needed. So please ensure that the real estate that you have, that's the first half of the A4 size sheet, is very well curated. Take help, take feedbacks from your colleagues, from your teachers, from professionals like us. Go on LinkedIn, network, see what people are putting it out there. A lot of research has to be made, a lot of effort has to be made. No matter how much tech grows, a research at your end places you in a very beautiful, very unique spot, and that is, you're more learned, you're more aware about your own things. People craft a lot of resumes, but they're hardly aware that what they've written. So the downside of getting it done from a third party or a third person is you have to learn about your resume. Why those things that you have put down in resumes are there at all. Okay, and then this is another game. This is another story to it. Goal setting and so forth and so on, which is again, it's not a process that is in silos. It is, creating a resume is like you're on a journey to discover yourself. It's very fascinating if youngsters give time to this art. Basically, uniquely it's an art, and I took my sweet time to create my resume. And if I showcase my initial copy of a resume, most of us would vomit. It was that brutal. It was that was something, with a lot of colors, very bold points, and projects that even I did, but I could not be confident of to sharing with a recruiter or a hiring manager. So please be mindful of whatever things you are putting in your resume, because what you can't cook, you cannot serve. Be mindful of that. I'll see you in another video, in another post somewhere on LinkedIn or Instagram. Till then, chill off, have fun, always read and learn from your environment and from others. Take care. Bye-bye, friends.